Hi guys, we need to go over some basics, so I'm gonna go fast. I am finding, people ask me success, failure, whatever. Couple little quick side notes on this. Number one, talk to people. Have a friend, have somebody you can talk to that can help you see where you're falling short. We all need it. We all develop a bad little habit, a bad little tick, and we forget it. The greatest batter in the world still has a batting coach. And when he goes into a slump, the batting coach says, you realize that you started moving your hair. Whatever little thing it is, you can't see it. Now and then somebody else can see it like that, and it's a huge help. I strongly encourage you, have a couple friends, call me, call folks here, with each other, whatever, somebody that can help you see where you're falling a little short if your numbers ever start to fade some. That said, this has come up enough lately that I need to kind of go over the basics for how to judge yourself and where you're succeeding. There are three places people fail, especially in new building sales. There's three. Number one is calls. Number two is presentation. Number three is closing, and I'm gonna put a little note here because I want to spend most of my time on a subtopic and I don't want to forget it. Calls are two places. Number one is getting them in, and number two is following up, and in this case, closing. Some people are good at making the calls to get people in. Usually that is done because they have an assistant or someone that makes the calls for them. By the way, that is a very effective system and tool. A lot of people, when you get them on the phone, want to ask all these questions. Well, and you end up trying not to do a phone presentation. A receptionist, assistant, secretary, whatever, can do those more legitimately. Well, I don't know, but Tom would be happy to, and you can get them in. So those sometimes work well. Problem is that person can't do the follow-up from the presentation to see if they want to come in and sign. You, the person doing the presentation, have to call and ask them to sign. You got to have the follow-up. Sorry, I need a drink of water. Next is, if you're doing this well, and if you're doing this well, then where you're probably failing is your presentation any good. If your presentation isn't good, fix it. By the way, what's the number one place you fail in a presentation? Opening this. Very best thing you do in a presentation is use your ears and not your mouth exclusively. If you don't say a single word, it was a great presentation. If you have a presentation that lasts an hour and a half to 2 hours and you didn't say a single word, it's the greatest presentation in the history of man, and that is a guaranteed signed client. If you have a presentation, be it 10 minutes or 3 hours, and you really had to, they really wanted all that information you knew and you talked all the time, don't lie to yourself, did you? It was garbage and they're never gonna sign. You will find the more you talk, the shorter your presentations are. The shorter your presentations are, the less likely they are to ever sign. There's a direct correlation between how much your mouth worked versus your ears. Remember that if you're not listening. And by the way, it's not just a matter of sitting there going, hi, I'm Bill. It's got to be real. It has to be natural. You have to be listening because you asked them a question, you were intrigued in what they had to say, you paid attention to what they had to say. As they talked, that gave you new questions. You could learn more about how to help and serve them. You asked another question and they went on and explained. People will tell you everything if you will let them and if you will ask directing questions. If you get confused or lost, use your flip chart. That's why it's there. It's not that it's the gift of all. It's why it's there. If you're not sure how to do a presentation after that, this isn't the greatest, but it does work. Do the following. Get the link to the video we made where I do a video for a presentation for people that don't know what to cover. Walk the people in, say hello, thank them, sit down, fill out the front page of the client information sheet. If you still have one that has the front and the back, lose the back page, it's garbage. Fill out the front page client information sheet, pay attention, ask what they're wanting to do, answer every question they have. I mean, just bleh. Assume they want to know everything in the world about what to do, how to build their house, and what it's going to cost, how financing works, and how they're going to structure that. And if they don't have land, where to find land. If they have it, what's involved to get it set up, and everything else. I mean, answer it all. To the point you're like, oh my gosh, you may have told me so much they could do this on their own, now they may not sign. Somewhere between when they walk in the door and when they leave, show the video. If you answer all the questions before the video, cool. If you answer all the questions after the video, cool. Do not matter which, show the video, answer the questions. That's the big thing. If you will do that, and then you will make a call once a week for the next 2 months, asking if they're ready to sign, you will sign 1 out of 4 presentations. You just will. Next is closing. Closing is largely this part of the call. Are you closing? Are you remembering to do so? Now that said, here's our next big one. Where most of us fail to close isn't even the fear of asking them to sign, though that's part of it. It is we do not do proper follow-up. Follow-up is closing. Sorry for the penmanship. Do you follow up? Here's the secret to follow-up. Don't lie. Never end a follow-up call without a close. I don't mean that you have to call and say, you ready to sign? I'll call you tomorrow. Ready to sign? I'll call you tomorrow. You do bring it up, but why are you calling them? What is right here? I'm absolutely 100%. The secret to follow-up is I call, hey Joe, how you doing? Blah, 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 whatever it was about. And at the end of it, I'm going to have a close. If I feel it's there to ask him to sign, I'm going to. If I don't, my close is going to be confirming when I'm going to call him again and why. Well, you know, hey, a real common. Hey, Joe told you I'd call you in a couple weeks, just follow up and see how things are going. Any questions, anything I can help with? How are y'all coming along on plans to get started? In all sincerity, that's a complete close. I'm asking him to sign, easy as simple pie. And he says, oh, you know, we're still just pondering. Now, if I'm lucky, he's going to tell me something that's come up, and that gives me a hunt it down. You know, we're looking at some land, or we're thinking about this, or we got a question, and it will be, well, let me answer that problem for you by getting this done for you, and I will call you back with that info within XYZ. If I was like, yeah, we're still thinking, you know, but appreciate the call, I will end with this. Well, hey, guy, no problem. Listen, I'll call you back in a couple weeks just to stay in touch. Holler at me before if anything comes up, and if something special happens, I'll give you a call. Boom, done. I just closed him without his confirmation. I just closed him on the fact that I'm going to call you in a couple of weeks. That has to be. And if I say I'm going to call you in a couple of weeks for some reason, I'm going to call for that reason. You have to make notes and you have to set your alarm. Your note needs to be, why am I calling him? Was I supposed to find out something about finance? Was I supposed to find out something about the cost of this? Was I supposed to find out something about the cost of land? Was I supposed to give him my next door neighbor's cousin's Instagram? I don't know. But whatever it was, make the note, because when you call back, you have to call back for that reason. Number one. By the way, the easiest reason is, I'm just going to call to follow up. That's fine. Number two, and this one's the most important. Call when you said you're going to. Give yourself a little leeway. Say a couple weeks. A couple weeks gives you 3 or 4 day swing. But don't say I'll call you in a couple weeks and call the next week. You're a pest and a liar. Equally bad, don't say I'll call in a couple weeks and wait 3 to 4 weeks. You can't be trusted. You don't follow through. This doesn't happen in people's conscious, but it does get noticed by them. They start to pick up. You will find people that you call every couple of few weeks for years. They kind of become friends. They actually like you. They appreciate you. But you have to schedule the follow-up. You have to have a reason for the follow-up. And you need to confirm that reason as you're ending that call, and then you keep going. This will keep you in touch with everyone you've ever done a presentation to, and it will increase your closings probably 50%. Simple stuff, but the biggest place people die is they don't do the follow-up. I've actually heard salespeople say, well, I call them twice, and if they don't sign, I just let them call me. Why do you waste money on marketing, man? That's insane to me. Insane to me. You are wasting money. If by making those calls, you have to work an extra 2 hours a week, I guarantee you, you will add over $100,000 to your bottom line a year. If there's somebody that isn't willing to sell 2 hours of the week for $100,000 a year, you're making more money than me. That's it. I rambled a ton. I hope that was helpful. Thank y'all for your time. Have a great day.